Hello and welcome back, and that is right, today we want to talk about another brand new UGREEN NAS. Seriously, when do they stop? Do they sleep? Today we want to talk about the new brand new DXP4800 GT, and hopefully some weird little computer graphic has now appeared on the screen. This is a new NAS from the brand, currently only available in China, but as I'll talk about later in the video, I will be baffled if this never leaves China. There is absolutely no way I can see this brand not launching this globally, but we'll come back to that later. This is a new 4-bay solution. Apparently there are other devices in the product family in the GT series, so there's at least a 2-bay that we know about. I don't know if there's any bigger ones like a 6 or an 8-bay, just like we saw with the original DXP Intel powered series, but that's the key point there. It's not Intel. This time it is an AMD powered NAS solution. It's rocking out with the R2514 processor, a 4-core 8-thread CPU. Again, moderate range there. It's a sort of processor that I did think Synology were going to opt with at one point. This is an AMD Ryzen server, or embedded Ryzen server processor there with integrated graphics as well. It's got Radeon Vega graphics. Yum yum. So we're now looking at an AMD processor with a decent little clock speed alongside integrated graphics. But it isn't just that. This CPU supports ECC memory, and this device across 2 SODIMM slots there looks like it will support up to 64 gig of RAM. Now, I can't see any clarification on the official Chinese pages whether it's going to arrive with ECC. I very much doubt it, but at the very least there is acknowledgement on those pages that it will support it. So, in this current RAM climate, it's going to be good that you can upgrade a UGREEN NAS with ECC, particularly those that are considering third-party operating systems. But we'll wait until if we ever get one here in the studio. But we gotta talk about that design. It's arriving in black and rose gold, and I won't lie, I love the look of it. And I know we shouldn't care about the look of NAS devices because a lot of people are going to stick them in cupboards and never look at them again. But as we've discussed on the channel before, I am something of a whore of NAS devices that have got a unique look about them. This is the white version of the UGREEN NAS that I picked up in China, because that's right, in China you can get a lot of different NAS devices in different colors there. So hopefully if this goes global, they keep that color palette, because I really like it. But more about the hardware. It's got 4 drive bays there on the front and a couple of M.2s. But do you know what else I noticed about the specs? This thing supports U.2. The individual bays support traditional SATA, but they seemingly have combined SATA data, U.2 or SAS connectors there inside. I'm still waiting for clarification if this is 6 or 12 gig, but at the very least, that is going to be very appealing to those that want to use chunky, higher performance, but obviously more expensive U.2 drives there inside, or M.2s delivered via U.2 adapters there. Again, there's a couple of M.2 NVMe slots at the bottom. This is a 16-lane processor there, but it is a Gen 3 architecture processor, so the M.2s are likely going to be Gen 3x2 or Gen 3x4 if you're going to dick around with BIOS, I guess. But alongside that, in terms of connectivity, it's got standard 10 gig USB, it's got HDMI, again, integrated graphics processor, but crucially, it's got a couple of 10 gig NICs, and to factor in the ECC as well, yum yum in my tum, I am interested. That said, I won't lie, I'm not in love with the idea that the operating system seems like it's going to be living on its own little area of storage. I'm still going to wait and see for when I've got one of them here, but at least right now, it does look, or at least indicate, that UGOS on this is going to be running from a small flash module there. But I'm still going to find out more whether that is an M.2 NVMe, or maybe a little small bit of eMMC storage there. The reason being, if you are going to be looking at running third-party operating systems, it gets a little bit more complicated if you're going to be installing on an area of eMMC or a little flash module. Maybe we'll get lucky and it's going to turn out that it's not unlike the M.2. We've seen other NAS brands use a little small one on its own dedicated minor M.2 slot, but I just thought I would add that here because I'm still on the fence about that. But all of this might well be immaterial if they don't make the device globally available. Now, personally, I think it's an impossibility that they're going to restrict this device to China only. Maybe the design, maybe, but I think realistically, I think the bulk of the system, it's too much of an investment by a brand in terms of a new architecture to restrict this to China only. So It could be next month, it could be next year, who knows? But this architecture, I can imagine, UGREEN will distribute outside of China. Again, I just hope they maintain that sodding design. And also, next week or two, depending on when you're watching this, at the start of June, I'm going to be over in Taipei for the Computex tech event, and UGREEN have a stand there. So they better bloody well have this device there for me, at least me to look at and play with. And if not, I am going to ask them directly if this system is going to go global, because it bloody well should. But this is really everything we know about this device right now, and needless to say, I will try and pull some strings to try and get one of these devices from China to here, because I'm something of an obsessive. But what do you guys think? Does this sound interesting to you? Is this the thing that's making you tiptoe out of your other NAS brand into UGREEN, be it for your own NAS operating system or utilising theirs? Does this make you think again about the UGREEN NAS that you've already purchased? Let's talk about it more in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.